have no idea.
I'd like to think I'm not the same as my character. You know, like I don't be like that.
Wow. This ship collected specimens. 5 new life forms from distant planets. Monsters.
I imagine when this comes to you, Alien is sort of the first thing you think of. But beyond that, what was the particular appeal of this series when this first got offered to you, when this opportunity came up?
For me, when I saw Noah Hawley's name attached to it, because I saw what he did with Fargo, I did not watch his TV show for a long time because I loved that movie so much. And I was like, there's no way you could make a TV show off of that. And then the whole world was saying, you know, you got to watch this show. And I finally did. And he was able to keep to the essence of that film, honor it, and then create something wholly new and unique and powerful. And so knowing that he was taking on Alien, the scripts did the same. And that really excited me because you can't recreate Alien, but you can expand on the world. And so we were able to do that.
Alex, how about you?
You answered that so beautifully, and also stole what I was going to say.
I'm good at that.
So good. But then there was also the element, and I don't know if that was immediately obvious to me or if it's something that I discovered and really appreciated, but the sort of the tenderness of that relationship between siblings in the midst of something otherwise quite brutal. I thought it was really interesting that there was, this like really human softness in the otherwise quite scary alien world.
It's a little scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I met Sydney and I was like, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Well, mine was, I'd already been cast and I was in Bangkok with Noah. I think he's just coming into that room, seeing all the imagination on the wall, all the visions, and going in to see Sutirat as well, and seeing some of the designs for the costumes. But it was Noah telling me the story of one of the episodes that he hadn't yet written, and it was during the writer's strike, so it couldn't, there was no episode to be had. Just him sitting there across the table narrating this story. At first I tried to take notes, and then I just gave up. I just sat there listening to it in the same way you listen to Sam when he's, doing the very terrifying Peter Pan. Yeah, that was my first, most memorable experience of it, other than reading it, of course.
Yeah, I had a meeting with Noah in London, and we kind of just met for a chat, and the same thing happened to me. I just sat down and spoke to Noah, and I was like, wow, okay. He described the season to me, but also described Boy and what Boy was going to be like. And I was just, I don't know, trying to contain my excitement because I don't normally get to play characters that are like this egomaniacal and mad and sort of, horrendous. So yeah, I was just sat there and listening to him articulate about the series and couldn't believe my luck, really. Yeah.
I was actually at a bar. I've never told Noah this. I was at a bar and there was a wonderful costume designer who'd worked with Noah before, and I ran into her there, and I had also worked with Noah, and she said, "Has Noah talked to you?" And I said, "Well, no. What are you talking about?" She said, "I think he's got something for you," and I was like, "Are you serious?" She's like, "Yeah." And she told me that he was doing Alien. And then I sat on that for a while. I was like, when's this fucker going to call? Exactly. And then he gave me a shout one day and said he had something that might work. And,
Nice.
I was leaning way forward. So, but he didn't realize I was like, well, I'm waiting for the call. I didn't say that to him. I should have.
Indeed,
so, yeah. I've been waiting for your call.
Mm-hmm.
And Timothy, obviously, Kirsch, your character is sort of sitting in a lineage of synthetics that we've seen throughout the Alien franchise. Did you look back at any of those performances from other actors who've played synthetics?
As soon as somewhere between Noah, and I having that conversation and showing up on set, I watched the first two again, and probably multiple times. If for no other reason, that they were just great movies, and this gave me an excuse to revisit them. And I mean, all the performances in all those films, those films, I should say, those two were just so amazing. Particularly the first one. It's just such a beautiful piece of work. It's like they don't know they're in a giant, monster movie. It's like they're just so new. You know what I mean? It's like nobody told them what they were in.
No,
and it's
what it would be.
Right? It's so effortless, their work. And if nothing else, I just watched it for inspiration, to watch good work.
And then Babu, Morrow is the first cyborg we've seen, I believe, in the Alien franchise.
Yeah, I need to double check this, but yes, I'm going to go with what you said.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
So how do you get into the head of a character like that, where he's so mysterious, particularly sort of in the early episodes of the season?
Just Noah drops these little hints in the script that they're so wonderful. One of the things they used to make us do at drama school is that you write down everything that's said about your character, including what your character says about themselves. And for me, my favorite thing he said was, wouldn't that be nice? When he's asked, are you a machine? He said, wouldn't that be nice to be all machine instead of the worst parts of a man? That was an entry point, just to understand what this person wants to be. They want to be beyond human.
Speaking of expanding the world, I suppose, why do you think the storyline specifically surrounding Wendy and her, new siblings, why does that idea of children in synthetic bodies, why does that marry so well with the Alien franchise that we've seen so far? Why do you think those two sort of fit together?
Well, I think, and Noah touched upon it yesterday of, what was it? You remembered it better than I did. The kids are like the most human, the most innocent, the most raw and real entity of humanity. And so to throw that into the world of Alien, where you're dealing with not only aliens, but questions of morality, questions of consciousness, especially in this one, innocence lost, who are you, identity. To bring children into that, it adds very eerie and powerful factor to it, and it's really, really fun to play.
Well, how do you approach playing that type of character who is a child in an adult body?
I have no idea. I really honestly relied on base instinct of what a child feels like to me, and working with the rest of the cast. I found Wendy every day when I would work off of Tim's Kirsch or your Joe. I got more colors and pieces of who I was playing, and I didn't think about playing a child. I just played the truth of her on the page, just a human. Whereas everyone else is telling her she's everything but. Yeah.
And Alex, what does Hermit make of Wendy once they're sort of reunited? I found there's a line, I can't remember it exactly, but really interesting, where he sort of says she at least seems to think that she's my sister or something like that. She believes it.
Yeah, it's sort of a wavering line for Hermit throughout this season as to who is this creature. He so longs, obviously, to be the sibling that he thinks was lost, and has so many proponents of that person, their memories and sense of humour and sensibility, but obviously in a different shell, and a shell and a form that is beyond his wildest imagination of what his sister would have grown up to be. So yeah, I think for Hermit it is a strange tightrope that he's walking in his in this new relationship with this potential sister.
You walk that so wonderfully too, with the yearning for it to be your sibling, and also the frustration and fear and rationale that is also playing on behind the scenes, and how much you would let Wendy see that versus other characters was really cool to watch.
Oh, that's lovely, thank you.
You're welcome.
And from your early conversations with Noah, did you both have a sense of your full characters' journeys across the season? Did you know where things were going to end up, or was that sort of a surprise as you were reading through the scripts?
Yeah, it was kind of a surprise. Things change and grow, and I feel like Noah, any rewrites we would get working with Noah and Migazy, who's awesome. Shout out to Migazy. But the story I felt would almost shift towards the actors. It was like there was a cool collaboration going on of, especially for Sam, I felt like it was. It started writing towards the character he was bringing.
Yes.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, with TV, it can always be a surprise, and so that's really fun too when you see a change, and it just excites you all over again. It's like, okay, let's jump in.
Yeah, a new episode would be released to us all during shooting, and the changes would be, we've sort of kept on our toes in that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was nice. It kept it fresh.
And what's that first day like on set when you're opposite a Xenomorph? What's the reaction there?
So surreal.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what my first day was with. It's probably Coming to Find You. I was Coming to Find You. I was trying to save this
stuck
one.
somewhere,
It's
yeah.
really always just trying to save you. It was awesome. I mean, it's right there. It's real. Breathing, living, chasing quickly. So it's amazing. It is. It's very surreal.
And you've obviously got some new creatures in this show as well. What can you tease for people who haven't seen those new creatures yet? What was your sort of reaction to those on set? Because they were practical as well, weren't they?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. I don't know what to tease. They're just all deliciously disturbing.
Deliciously disturbing. Yeah.
New band name.
Yeah, punk rock.
Yeah.
Samuel, Boy Kavalier, how do you find inspiration for that character? Did you have any sort of real life figures that you look to? How do you sort of get into the mind of
I ignored all real life figures and went deep inside my imagination. I think with somebody like that that's written so specifically, I remember reading the script and having an instant image, with the Peter Pan references. Like, imagine that kind of person who is so inside their own narrative that they see themselves as a flying super child who refuses to grow up and has obviously completely misread the book of Peter Pan. If anybody has read the book, they know how dark the message is at the heart of that book about the fact that, unfortunately, we do have to grow up if we want to be moral human beings in the world. So, yeah, I was just really, really compelled by that, and I'd like to think I'm not the same as my character. I don't be like that.
Wow.
So mean. Yeah,
He
but
walked into it, let's be real. Yes, he walked into it.
somebody did say, one of the producers was like, I keep saying that the set gave me a lot of freedom, and he looked at me like, yeah, gave you a lot of freedom to express your true self, which is clearly Boy K. So there you go. Like, maybe it's true, but yeah, I just had so much fun playing this part. Yeah.
This series introduces a number of different alien creatures than we've seen before. How were you able to sort of visualize them while you were writing? Did you have a sense of what they would each look like?
They were there.
They were there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the interactions that we have.
Yeah.
You're looking at an 8-foot
Practical-
Xenomorph.
Practical effects.
Yeah. Whenever I worried about my performance being a little weak, I was like, doesn't matter because look at all these cool creatures in the scene with me.
Hand to the egg.
I was like, no, I told Sydney, don't worry about your work. They just cut to the monster. They cut to this, cut to that.
It really was amazing to see that commitment to the practical effects and the
Yeah.
craft, and like these sets that would just wrap around.
Yeah, you're hitting buttons and doors
It's
are sliding
visceral.
open. It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Xenomorph you've mentioned, what was the first day like when you were acting opposite that? It must have been quite surreal.
Scary.
This is a Babu question.
Honestly, it's
Yeah,
scary.
you
'cause
worked with the big guy right away.
right away during a screen test, and there's inside the suit it's Cam, who's from New Zealand, and he's vegan, but inside that suit he's 8 foot tall, and he's got this big black dome head, and he's leaning over you, and the teeth are coming out. Even though I remember my character was holding a gun at that point, and even then I just felt this creepy chill down my back, my subconscious telling me this isn't cool, shouldn't be here.